Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Istanbul. It's game day 2, Group B action in the EuroBasket qualifiers for 2025. Turkey welcome Iceland inside the Sinan Erdem Dome here in Istanbul. Here's the schedule and results so far in this group. Iceland and Italy were victorious on game day 1. Turkey face Iceland now, and then later on tonight, Hungary look to get their first win over Italy at home. This is how the current group looks after those 2 wins on points difference, which we'll keep stressing is so important in these 4-team groups. Italy lead the group and Iceland in second place. A win for Iceland here would be crucial in trying to advance into the EuroBasket finals. As always, here in Istanbul, good crowd in. Late Sunday afternoon game, 4 o'clock local time is the tip. 16,000 seat arena, and it's filling up. Great atmosphere already. As you can hear, as Turkey are going to be introduced to this crowd. The passion for it here is just phenomenal. Disappointing loss though, 87-80 in Italy on game day 1. Trailed 11 at the half. Late rally, not enough to get the win. They really did struggle to stop the Italians scoring. 61% from 2 and 40% from the 3-point line. Turkey played a little soft is the general consensus. Italy only went to the free throw line 10 times. We can talk about it more as Ergen Ataman gets ready, as everybody does, for the national anthems of both countries. Wow, what an atmosphere already here in Istanbul. National anthems always make you realize how that added extra spice, added extra importance to national team basketball. Players will exchange those gifts of the game at halfway line. And we'll get a chance to look at the third team on the floor, the three officials. Vastly experienced crew, the crew chief, Ademir Superovic from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Gert Jacobs from Belgium, and Pedar Pesic from Serbia make up the officiating team for this late afternoon game here in Istanbul. Great win for Iceland over Hungary on game day one, 70-65. They got the win. Really did play solid basketball, best way to describe it. Here's their starting lineup for this afternoon's game. Fredriksson was excellent on game day one. Hermansson and Gudmundsson, and the big man on the inside, Chigi Hilason, really did, as a unit, really did do a good job. It's an 8-player rotation with 6 players on game day one playing over 20 minutes. And they get contributions across that roster. They really did, as a team, find a way to win. Shot the ball pretty well. 85% from the free throw line was the decisive factor. 24 points from turnovers. I mean, it wasn't as if Hungary turned the ball over a lot at all. Only 13 turnovers for Hungary, but they turned that into 24 points. That is efficiency in turning your defense into offensive output. So Turkey will be mindful of taking care of the basketball, but as always, Turkey are normally very, very good with the ball at home, getting the ball to the right guys. Starting lineup for Turkey. And Tariq, you can't look anywhere else. Tariq Begarovic, just a phenomenal performance in game day one. 27, 8 and 4, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for the 23-year-old, still young. The big Saleh on the inside did a nice job, but just wasn't enough to peg Italy back. 10.7 rebounds for Saleh on the inside. Sabic is again also 28 minutes he played in game day one, really did a nice job. And Seamus Hazar, who didn't get a lot of floor time in game day one, gets a start here tonight. Only 3 players who started, 3 of them starting. Sapai is the 3rd start today. The other 2 aren't in the roster. So Ergan Ataman brings some changes. The current Panathinaikos head coach, well, he knows what it's all about. On the sidelines. Expectation always so high here in Turkey. The pressure of that expectation, if the team don't start well, if the team don't get into rhythm, that can almost become a weight to carry, a burden on your shoulders. But if they get the momentum going the right way, as we get to the Tissot countdown to tip off with 1 minute before we're going to get underway here, if they get the crowd momentum behind them, this could be a really tricky afternoon for Iceland here in Istanbul. Turkey, the current number 24 in the FIBA World Rankings, and Iceland at 48. But in Europe and in EuroBasket competition, on any given night, any given team can come up with the W. And Iceland have enough team spirit, enough quality across the roster to really make life very interesting here. 3 teams will qualify from this 4-team group. That's why every single result and every single point is absolutely vital if you're going to make it to the EuroBasket Championship. Yiğitan Sabic, 25. Telecom will play in the playoffs of the Europe Cup and then in the coming week. Well, we're on the way You're inside the Sinanodan Arena. And Turkey will get a look at it in the half-court first time up. Turkey in the red uniform. Iceland in the white. Penetration off the glass is blocked. Milansson just said, hey, this is where I live. If you're going to come inside here, bring me something stronger than that. Nice block. Just played in the drive lane on the pick. Good movement by the Bilbao big man. The long two is no good. Ball will go out of bounds and will go to Iceland. Turkey will extend the defense. So whistle on the play, fortunately. Hazard has a reach for it. Fredriksson just about hung on. Fredriksson takes the ball screen and gets the lift. Hermansson is short. Lanson keeps it alive. Great effort on the glass. Hermansson has it, gets the ball screen, looks to turn the corner in the lane, tries to manufacture one, but the help did a great job at challenging the shot without coming down to block. Looks at the official in a, are you sure? But it looked really good to me that Chanel just suddenly just didn't throw those arms down to block it. He'll advance the basketball in his own time. A lot of physicality around the basketball. Hazard backs it out, gets a little separation. Wants the ball screen, they ghost it. Slips on the keyway, goes up off the glass for two. Aggressive, Seamus Hazard. And he steals it, should get it, and throws it down. Nothing like that to get these 16,000 people involved. Hermansson, they just need to tick it over. Three is long and no good. Chance to push again for Turkey. Spy has it, tries to create a little angle, does, blows the layup. And Iceland in transition. Jensson ran the floor, they missed him. They're gonna post and not go pick and roll. Ball fake to the three is good. Nothing but string, and only just a bit of string on that for Paulsen. 11 points in his 22 minutes. Game day one really made a contribution. Tarek Bebovic moves it on. Chanel for three is no good. Defensive rebound by Paulsen. And they're very guard heavy, Iceland, but they do a really good job physically on the glass. Fredriksson needs a pass. Son gives him the option. Backdoor almost there. 5 on the possession. It gets deflected. Turkey save it and they turn it over. Chance to run. Hazard pushes. Sabic will go on post. You're gonna have to try and front that. There's too much help to go inside. Has a nice lift, wide open. Sevier for three is good. Sebai gets his feet set. Friendly use of the ring. Nice start by Turkey. Won't be rushed, Iceland. Hermansson will hand it off. The three is nowhere near good. And the Turkish defense is just out the top drawer, not getting turned at all. Bovic gets it off. Sepai trying to find the inside option, finds it. So now makes a second move, goes up strong, doesn't get it to drop, ends up on the floor. He's going to have to work to get back. Good recognition. Elinson's just about to hold on to that. Needs a pass, finds one. Wide open for three is off. Bebovic comes down with the defensive rebound, starts to accumulate another stat line. So that's going to be an offensive foul. Johnny with the moving screen. There you go, just rolls into the defender going underneath the screen. And Hazard, having missed the first one and getting called for the foul, didn't back down at all. Helinason needs some touches. You're gonna have to find him deep. In the minute, it's very jump shot happy. Nice make though for Fredriksson, but it's a very jump shot happy performance by Iceland at the moment. Helinason has not had a look in the paint. Got to keep him interested. Chanel goes to the block, doesn't get a touch. The three is on the side of the backboard. Doesn't get it to drop. Helinason comes down with a chance for Iceland to run. They have numbers here. Foul on the plate. Sepai just takes one for the team. Starting to become, it's starting to become more prevalent, the foul to stop the break. With the way that it's interpreted, you can understand. Sepai had to do it. He had no real options, no help. Mamatoglu checks in. Hermansson has it. Foul line jump shot is good. And Turkey are going to have to keep the defensive intensity up here, because if they let Iceland settle and get comfortable and get time and space like they just did, they shoot the ball really well. Bebovic moves it on. Nice look. Going to call the travel. Savic, who initially made the really nice cut. Nice find on the baseline. There you go. A couple of hops before the ball hit the floor. Lean back for two is good, and there you go. Space and separation. And Iceland will make shots. Hermansson having a really nice season in Alba, in Berlin. Mamatoglu. So he's on a lot of activity, doesn't get enough touches, and one. And right on cue, gets a paint touch, finishes the play. Steksen. Sano just does a nice job on the roll. Solid with the catch. There you go. And there's the foul on the elbow on the way up. Has a chance to make this a three-point play. Got to get touches. If they can draw Helinason to the basketball. And he's experienced enough, the 32-year-old Fenerbahce big. Experienced enough, good enough to take the advantage. And a 60% free throw shooter across the season. Strokes it as though he's a 100% shooter. Steinason has checked in. Again, stop, pop, can't get it to drop on that occasion. Helinason will pick it up and throw it down. Quick hands. Offered an option. Well, there's his first paint touch where he's got the chance to be aggressive. Iceland with a one-point advantage. Mamatoglu moves it on. And Bebovic is not getting touches. He was fine initially, but then getting still a little frustrated. The three is no good. For Kabaka. Steinson wants the ball screen. Helansson's going to roll, and they go away from him. has a mismatch, and they turned him down. Steenson attacks off the dribble, doesn't get the drop. Bubarovic hasn't seen a lot of it. Stops, pops, is short. Went looking for points. They had a great night. Let's just not dress it up in any other way. Against Italy, in Italy, 23-year-old with 27 points and 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And that's his first field goal attempt this afternoon. Agul's checked in as well. Number 17 for Turkey. That's a little bit of football. Erkan Usmani checks in. Just a little bit more active. And straight in, straight off the bench, shows how active he can be. They don't lose a lot in size. He's just a little bit more fleet of foot. Elanson needs a touch of the basketball, and he's working hard in the block, doesn't get a look. That's a foul on drive and one. Super finish. The catch, the quick step, draws some contact. And John Gudmundsson will go to the free throw line for the extra. There is no such thing now in EuroBasket basketball as a night off, an easier night for the traditional powerhouses like Turkey and the countries that aspire like Iceland. (14-12), Iceland have it. Gül gets it off to Mamutoglu, who goes to the lane for two. Super quick finish off the first step. The three is no good. Defensive rebound is hauled in by Usmani. And Usmani has hit the ground running after coming off the bench. He'll reverse it. Mamutoglu reposition on the ball screen. Usmani catches it high, looks to hand it off, gets a bit caught up in two minds. And two minds is never a good place to be. Just keep it simple. Erkan Usmani. There's that debate in Turkish basketball. Do their players play enough in the big teams? Is there too many imports where it's an ongoing debate across Europe? Elanson throws it down, and again, 2 touches in the paint, 2 dunks. It's like a freight train down the lane. Just builds that momentum. Super finish. Ergul moves it on. Mamutoglu looks to turn the corner, drops it inside, and one. Well, both teams exploiting the pick and roll. How good has he been coming off the bench? Erkan Usmani. Just a little bit more mobility. Chance to make this a 1-point Turkey lead. Fouls on Thurastasun. Can't complete the 3-point play. Does struggle a little bit at times, Usmani, from the free throw line. Under 60% across a career. Thurastasun. Elanson moves it on. Fredriksson. Good lift by Gunnarsson in the lane, doesn't get it to go. They put it up at the end of the quarter, is no good. And that will do it for quarter one. Exactly what you expected. The script said technical. The script said that Iceland would try and control tempo, and they have. And we have reached the end of one with a 16-16 scoreline. If you like it technical with some defense, you're getting exactly what you want right now. Super performance by Iceland on the road, trying to silence 16,000 fans. Statistically, the three-point line has not been anybody's friend. 1 from 6 and 1 from 5. When they do get inside touches, they're effective. And the game's been pretty physical, but pretty technically clean. Let's get a look at the best plays of the first quarter. Well, if anybody came to play, it was Seamus Azar. Almost came up with a steal on the first possession, got called for the foul, but then came up with the aggression play, followed it up with the steal. And at that point, he had 16,000 people right behind him. But as we said, Iceland were going to take their time. They were going to try and get into their rhythm, and they really were successful in doing that. The 16-16 scoreline, that tempo of game is really going to suit. Going to have to make sure they do contest the open three, but that's a super start to this game for Iceland on the road. If you want to know all about what's going on across these continental qualifiers at the moment, take the Courtside 1891 app. There's the QR code. Download it from your normal source and enjoy. Almost 24-hour-a-day basketball at the highest level. Turkey will have the possession at the start of the second quarter. Turkey, the quote, the crowd shout, builds at the start of the second quarter, trying to really lift the emotion of this Turkish national team. Mehmetoglu looks to create a lane. Sabay, nice pass. Timing was excellent. Uruguay gets the 2. Iceland just got a little bit static on the help. Steinsson can't get it to drop. And Steinsson was offered the 3. He backed himself, but first shot he's missed, that is, in game day 1 and game day 2 action. Only took the 2 shots on game day 1, but made them both. The 3 is long. Great work on the glass. Osmani has just exploded onto the floor off the bench. 4-point lead for Turkey, and Osmani is one of the main reasons they have that. Fredriksson needs a pass, finds a pass. The 3 is good, and that's automatic. Gunnarsson, the 20-year-old. Well, the obvious cliche of Gunnar Gunnarsson. He's a gunner out there at the moment. 2 from 2 from the 3-point line, and it looks quick. Uruguay is no good. Elanson gets a piece. Iceland have a chance in transition. Stop, pop on the foul line is good. Have to get your hands up above the eye line, because that's like not being guarded. That's a drill for Elvar Fredriksson. Mehmetoglu, pick and pop, they'll hit the second side. Sabay goes inside with the pass. Whistle on the play as Kabay was just about to go to work. It's almost, I wouldn't say it's a transitional team, this Turkish national team, but there's some really exciting prospects. Now, obviously none bigger than Biberovic, but they have, the future is bright. 1-point lead for Iceland 8 to go in the half. Osmani tries to back in and go to work. Gets to the middle, feels the double team, and is fouled as Fredriksson wanted a piece of it. Once he gets beyond that second dribble, it's almost fair game to go after it. And he just followed through with the right arm, clean with the ball, but took the arm away. So he gets it on. Ramatoglu gets it back to him. Wide open, Sabai for 3 is long. Great work on the glass. Goodbye with the offensive rebound. Osmani catches deep. Shirley's going up. Settles for the jump hook. Super work on the glass. Kabai just went to work, stayed active, got a piece. Pick and pop. Attack the closeout, move the basketball. Super patience by Iceland. Looking for a shot they really want. Now they're going to have to work for one. Stop and pop on the foul line. He's short. Great offensive rebound. Tharat Sarsen gets another offensive rebound. The 3 wide open is good, and if you work hard, you get rewarded. And Hermansen knocks down another 3. Crowd realized the issue. Ulubai looks inside. Osmani gets half fronted. Going baseline, that's quick. Far side of the ring for 2. That's a pretty move. Quick first step, created the advantage, and his ability just finished the play. Hermansson tries to get a little separation. Oh, super pass. Almost surprised Gunnarsson. And for Gunnarsson, that's a little close. Osmani again, having a game. Tries to back in, gets to the middle. Goes with a right hand jump hook, doesn't get the drop. And Iceland just about combined to get the rebound. So Fredriksson attacks it, kicks it. The open look is no good. That's another rebound. Tremendous effort on the glass by Tharat Sarsen. Sipai. And they're going to count that as basket interference. And Iceland have missed some opportunities just from great offensive rebounding. Stymir. Tharastasen didn't play at all game day 1. Well, he's making up for that as we get a replay of the basket interference. Sapai gets the 2. Fredriksson, again, his time and his place. Hermansson, gonna have to create. Bottom of the shot clock is no good. Used every single second of the 24. They end up a wide open look, and they're the shots they've got to make. Sipai has it, attacks it, wraps it. Sanel with the 3 is good. Sanli comes off the bench. And Turkey go big and big. Hermansson just about gets it away. I've called the technical foul because I think Hermansson thought he was fouled on the last play. Wanted to tell everybody that he thought he was fouled. The hierarchy of the Turkish basketball, enjoying the last 2 minutes. The big combination of Sanli and Osmani has been really effective as Turkey opened up the 6-point lead. You got to feel if there's no score on the next possession, they may take the timeout, Iceland. Down 6. Sipai. So they will hand it off. Hazer Going baseline, tries to get an angle. Has to take the tough one. Hits nothing, and Iceland as a team just secure it. They do such a good job as a group on the glass. Hermansson gets his feet set for three, is long, and they just can't buy one at the moment. And the ball will go back to Turkey. That's 3 open looks in a row. They won't worry about the shot selection. They're just going to make those shots. Sipai gets it into the half court. Suddenly has it, will hand it off. Sipai again will use the ball screen. They're going to try and go over the top. He gets in the lane, needs a pass. Suddenly with 5 seconds on the shot. Has to go to work. Is blocked. 0.6 of a second. Old-fashioned 2 meters 15 and 2 meters 14 going at it. And the 2 meter 15 man has the advantage, gets the block, does a great job at staying clean as well. Both guys really mobile. Turkey take the timeout, 0.6 of a second left in this possession. It's got to go up. Don't get it away, I don't think. Took a little time to gather, therefore the 0.6 was not enough time for Osmani to get it away. Fredriksson. A timeout could be useful for Iceland. Just got to settle, find a way to get a shot they want. Hermansson will try to turn the corner, gets in the lane, little floater for 2, doesn't get it, gets his own rebound and gets this roll, and they find a way to tick it over. They needed those 2. As I say, the timeout may have helped Coach Pedersen. It's on the outside for 3, doesn't get it to drop. Defensive rebound is claimed. And most of those rebounds have at least 2 Icelandic hands on them. Foul on the play as Sipai takes one on the reach. Osmani steps out. That's a really decent shift by Erkan Osmani. Hermansson. Nice look. Hermansson gets set, can't get the finish. Suddenly just recovered. It's only the 3rd touch that Hermansson has had in the paint. Opens up for Hazard, can't finish. Suddenly comes down with it. No, he doesn't. Gets his hands on it, Pagan. That's an effort. Great rotation and scramble, and Iceland come down with it again. This is where they're effective, keeping it active. Need a pass, find one. There's always an option. Hermansson moves it on. Penetration. Gudmundsson and Hermansson. Put it up there, and it's only going one way, and Iceland close it to a 2-point game. They just believe in what they do. Hazard. Sabish wanted it on the inside, doesn't get it. Hazard goes off the glass for 2. Tough finish. Iceland will take the timeout. They trail by 4 with 1:45 to go in the first half. And they've come back from 8 down doing things like this. As soon as the rotation is late, it's going up there. Iceland with 1:40 remaining in the half. Have the basketball, down 4. Interesting to see what they're looking for coming out of the timeout. They go lob. Oh, what a play. Turkey just sent to sleep on the weak side. And the gym just goes quiet. Great execution coming out of the timeout. They wrap it around. Sabish inside, turns it over. Iceland with numbers. Hermansson gives it up. Hermansson and kicks. And that's patience. They didn't have what they wanted. Still got 12 on the possession. And they're back to spreading the floor. Gonna have to put this one up. Have to take the tough lean away. Hermansson can't get it. Turkey do a really nice job getting back. Force the extra pass. Hazard to the corner, wide open for 3 is good. And Sabish gets the 3. And Iceland will take their second timeout as Turkey open it back out to a 5-point advantage. Just super execution on the last play coming out of the timeout, because suddenly went to the inside, which means they literally just threw it over him. And they missed the opportunity in transition to hammer home that play. But anyway, after that timeout, let's see what they have as an option. Stop and pop for two is no good. Hilansson keeps it alive. That'll be an Iceland basketball with a new full team. Hilansson almost turns it over. Hermansson, 5 on the possession. Tries to get some separation. Takes the tough one from the corner. Doesn't get the drop. The ball will go back to Turkey, who've got 6.1 seconds to try and get something. Coach Adaman will take the timeout. Up 5 with the basketball. 6 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's take a listen to Coach Adaman and that timeout. Six seconds remain in the half. Can Turkey just finish it on a high? Sapai doesn't get it. They're going to have to go here. Hazard at speed, gets it off. Sapai for 3 is off. Well, they got one. Had a good look at it. Couldn't quite finish it off. But they reached the half. And they lead 35-30. And they've done well to lead, because this performance by Iceland has been excellent. But Turkey have responded. Osmani and Sanli in particular really exploited the size. Osmani was excellent coming off the bench. And Turkey lead it 35-30. Let's take a look at the statistics. Again, the three-point is not anyone's friend in any way, shape or form, but 55% from 2, 42 for Iceland. Pretty much the rest of the stats are very, very similar. The one thing that is a big, big number for Iceland is they have 10 points off turnovers. There's only been 6 Turkish turnovers. This team is so efficient at getting and running off of their defense. Osmani and Sanli, 8 and 6 respectively. That's 14 points from the 5 spot for Turkey. It's been an issue that Iceland knew they were going to have. Hilansson has been excellent. Hermansson has 9. And Fredriksson, when he gets space and time, knocks down shots. So it's set up nicely. Let's have a look at the best plays of the second quarter. Well, Turkey just started to find some seams to attack. And on a number of occasions, Iceland's rotation was just short of what they wanted it to be. But you've got to say, the man who had the biggest impact, Arkan Osmani, off the bench, rebounds, did a great job in the block. But once you let this Icelandic team go to work in transition. They score. Osmani with a beautiful little baseline move. Tough little finish on the reverse layup. And Sonny came back into the game. So both bigs in tandem became really effective for Turkey. That's when they built the 8-point lead. Iceland did respond. And they closed it to a 2-point game. But we've reached the half with a 5-point advantage for Turkey. And I think it's going to be pretty much deja vu in the second half. Iceland doing a really nice job at moving and sharing the basketball. They just have to make enough shots to stay in it. You got to think Helansson needs more touches. That was the play out of bounds where they just threw the lob. So we've reached the half. We're going to take a break, and we'll see you shortly to see if Turkey can get over the line to get their win on game day 2.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Great seal. But they force him behind the backboard. Rubio drops it down. Big time finish.
Nice give and go. Hazar gets it out. Biberovic for 3. Oh my goodness gracious. Biberovic and Melli putting on a show. My, what a play right at the end. The high arcing 3.
6 seconds left here on the shot clock. Greece has got to get something going. Mitolu spinning baseline going, oh baby, are you kidding me? Mitolu with no regard.
But Hanger had got himself out of the play. Offensive rebound. Helnason with the dunk. Delicious.
There's another turnover, another run out. Up high, the finish is good from Shengelia. He's got 8. Georgia responds beautifully.
Well, there's the alley-oop, and somebody give Jeremy Sohan a phone call because Balcerowski, Yazda, Devine Polska, Jeremy Sohan, are you watching?
Action from Germany. Mobo on the roll, lovely pass, watch out! Germany rolling here in Ludwigsburg. Kramer on the dunk. Great team play from the Germans though.
Boxing out well, left watching to see if the shot was going to go in, and Retino Basahan is breaking ankles.
Getting extended time, nice pass. Oh, what a block! Gilly Jones just pinned it. This is a block.
Test so far, 48-43 in front.
Jai using his speed, oh, it tacks the rim, and the one-handed hammer. What a jam that was.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, welcome back to Istanbul. Just going to check some highlights of that first half and look at the top scorers for both countries. And start with the way that Son really did a really nice job. 9 points personal. 3 from 10. He's not going to be happy with the percentage. He had a lot of good looks that he would expect to knock down the 29-year-old point guard. As we said during the game with Alba Berlin, had 17 points in the win against Hungary. Just epitomizes the way that Iceland go about their business. Well, the top scorer for Turkey is this man, Ernan Osmani. And it's not just the fact he's the top scorer, it's when he scored his points. Ernan Osmani, 8 points, 4 from 6 from the floor, 2 boards. He scored his points just to establish that little bit of breathing space that Turkey needed. This is a super little move. This is a big time, high level move to the baseline. Great touch. And he just added enough pace in the 5 spot that really did ignite Turkey. Just stepped up a little level. That gave them the 8-point lead. It's now re-established at 5 after a great response by Iceland to cut it back to 2. But Osmani's been tremendous coming off the bench, and the combination that Coach Aleman went to with the 2 bigs was really effective for a period for Turkey. So they're in the driving seat. I wouldn't say they're in control. Defensively, they get stretched by this Icelandic offense. But here's the breakdown for them. Hermansson with 4 rebounds, Gudmundsson with 2 assists. Hermansson had the 9 points as you saw. But it's never about the individual with this Icelandic team. They really do have to do it as a team. They share the ball, and if it's your turn and you're open, you've got to step up and knock down the shot. I suppose you could say, and as we said during the commentary, that Tryggvi Hermansson just needs more touches. Got to find a way to make him a bigger factor offensively. I know that it's hard the way he's doing it, but he has 8 points on 4 from 5. You know, even if it's 8 shots, you know, it's a more healthy balance for this Icelandic team. Moments in that first half, this 16,000 crowd got a little jumpy and went quiet because Iceland really was coming out with a a style of game that was frustrating their team. Osmani has the 8 points. Kabake has the 3 rebounds, and Sipahi has done a really nice job, almost at times taking responsibility to get Turkey into what they're trying to run in the half court. Arkan Osmani with Anadolu in the Turkish Super League. 4 from 6 from the floor for his 8 points. They've just about got the defensive scout right, Turkey. They're not exactly chasing Iceland off the 3-point line, but they're doing a really good job at slowing down penetration. So if they've got the opportunity to recover, the opportunity to close out effectively has been, most of the game has been really well executed. Martin Hermansson, 9 points, 3 from 10, and as I said when we highlighted the fact he was their leading scorer, he's not going to be happy with his 30%. He had a lot of good looks. When Turkey built the lead, it wasn't as if Iceland were taking bad shots. They just missed shots that they would expect to make, that they wanted to take. They just didn't make them. And the 3 for 10 is the indication of that. What he would expect to be at least 5 for 10 on the shots he took. So both sets of players back in the huddles. Turkey just getting there. Turkey's lineup to start this second half already out on the floor. Well, if you want all the information on the EuroBasket qualifiers, download this app. Download the app there with the QR code in the corner. Everything you need to know about the qualifiers here in Europe. Stats, highlights, etc. Breaking news, updates, it's all there. So with games today and tomorrow, there's plenty of things to find out about. So here we go then, start of the third quarter. Turkey with the 35-30 advantage, and they will be on defense first time up as Iceland have the possession. Christian Paulsen checks in, number 14, having a quiet time so far. Hesitation, throw it upstairs to Lanson. Oh, throw that one down. When he catches it that deep, only one outcome. And he really does need touches, and that's why. If he can get touches deep, he's pretty much unstoppable. Toglu with a 3 in rhythm. Mamatoglu came off the down screen, had 14 points personal against Italy on game day 1, and got that stroke going. Ball's knocked away. Osmani got a piece of it as Turkey start with the 2 bigs. Line it up, wide open, knocked it down for fun, did Hermansson. In fact, Fredriksson, sorry. Elva Fredriksson. Well, both teams coming out of the halftime break. Nice little second step, but Sipahi just can't finish the play. And that'll be an Icelandic basketball chance to tie the game on this possession. So quick rotation off that Turkish bench as Erden Ghazi checks in. Sipai. Checks out. Suddenly challenges it. It's almost, in terms of the defense, the two bigs will just guard the closest people to the hoop, and then they just rotate out. Beberovic gets himself alive in this second half, knocks down the three. Tough one in the lane is no good, and that's a couple of forced options on penetration. And a little bit un-Icelandic-like. Beberovic drops it, suddenly wide open for three is no good. Osmani keeps it alive, and Turkey come up with the offensive rebound. Mamutoglu for the three is no good. Suddenly, what a rebound, ball knocked away, but foul called on the play. Suddenly holds the forehead. I think he got a blow to the forehead. Foul on the play, should be an end line possession. There's the rebound, and there's the foul. Not sure what the officials are going to check here, but the crew chief, Mr. Zubarovic, vastly experienced, he'll it's whether that's a 2 or a 3 for Beberovic. End line possession for Turkey. Catch, release, does everything but drop. Fredriksson moves it on. Early, wide open three. Deep three is no good. No one with a white uniform on. Got their feet in the keyway on the glass. Beberovic, sweet, quick. And Lanson does a great job at challenging it, because he had to challenge it. Stanley picks up the garbage on the glass and finishes it. 8-point lead. Great pass. Super pass. And Steinarsson gets the 2 on the back cut. Defense got caught fixed on the ball. That's a finish. That's a finish by Beberovic. Used his body so well. And all of a sudden, it's a different game for him. He's being aggressive early in this third quarter. In rhythm. Paulson knocks down the 2. Beberovic. Kick to the corner. Osmani for 3. Wow. Inside, outside, going to the hoop. Okay, and Osmani with his feet set just nailed it. They go upstairs. Lanson is fouled as he was maneuvered out of the catch. All of a sudden, it's a different game for Turkey. The three-point line is their friend at the moment. Could buy one in the first half, have 13 points already in this third quarter. All of a sudden, it's like throwing it into the ocean. The open 3 is way short. Iceland just about keep it alive. Great effort by Ghazi. Steinarsson, foul line, drops it inside. Lanson goes up, doesn't get the drop. Whistle on the play. Love the battle. Sonny and Anderson just love it. Important times here now for Iceland. It's a 9-point lead for Turkey. They do not want this to grow. Conversely, you know that Turkey are going to want to come down the floor and get a shot they want. The bigs need to touch the door, but Beberovic has been so explosive in this third quarter. wraps it. Sonny's wide open, kicks it to the corner. Ghazi penetrates, gets all the way to the far side of the ring for two. Tough finish. Timeout, Iceland. They trail 11. Biggest lead of the game for Turkey. And they have been so much sharper, so much more the aggressor in this third quarter. It's now Ghazi's turn. Made the tough one, but made the aggressive move. Let's take a listen to the timeout.
Coming up, hand off and into it, okay? Okay? And then if they're playing you tight here, Elba or Martin, looking back door, okay? Looking back door. Hey, listen, most of their points right now are fucking right there. Okay? Hey, when they go under, okay? They went under on you a couple times. You're talking about a level 5.
Best seat in the house. Popcorn at the ready. Sitting with his family, loving every minute of it, that young Turkish fan. 50-39. Turkey with the biggest lead of the game. Iceland just need to stop the bleeding. Whistle on the play as Fredriksson draws some contact. Will not back down from anybody. Well, that's what he felt. Felt that little contact in the back. That generated the reaction. He'll go to the free throw line. Absolutely needs to drop these. Drops the first. Tick the scoreboard over, get back to single digits, then work your way back into the game. Two for two from the line. Why did anybody expect anything else? Iceland expend the defense a little bit. Turkey have looked better with Biberovic with the basketball. Mamutoglu tries to buy the three-point line. I'm surprised the official didn't say something to him. Fredriksson, nice pass, all on the move. Hilansson close, blows the little gimme. Biberovic has it. A space to attack, comes off the ball screen. Osmani in the lane, drops it inside. Sunday goes up, gets the two. Big to big. Turkey in transition, looking good. Back to 11. Hilansson needs a pass, finds one. Fredriksson with a one-footer, doesn't get it to go. Hilansson with the offensive rebound. Steinason turns it over. Osmani, why wouldn't Osmani be the man getting another positive stat? This big lineup has been so effective for Turkey. Coach Adaman is just milking it for as long as he can. Osmani deep, wants it, gets it. They show him the help. Suddenly thinks about the three, turns it down. 4 seconds on the possession. Biberovic is short with the three. Defensive rebound chance for Iceland to push. Fredriksson. Hermansson looks to attack a space. Stops, foul line jumper is good. The shot chart around the elbow and foul line area is just very congested. Iceland love that penetration to the pull-up. Ghazi has it. Gets some action away from the ball and they flare. Biberovic will go back door, doesn't get it. Now he does. Fills the double team. Almost turns it over. Mamutoglu wraps it to Osmani, who can't control that pass. Had to pick it up off his ankles. Great finish. Steinarsson ekes out on the break, gets the 2. We got a 7-point game, and Iceland are closing in again. Ghazi will get Mamatoğlu into the half court. Takes the Osmani ball screen and moves it on. Ghazi, feet set for 3, is short. No rhythm that time. Little runner is no good. They save it. Steinarsson thought about the 3, turned it down. Fredriksson tries to find a little separation. Steinarsson for 3 is short. And Ghazi picks it up off the floor. Just over 2 to go in the third. Vorovic again gets into some traffic. They just about recover it. Suddenly for 3 is long. Usmani's after it, doesn't get it. Chance going the other way. Iceland have numbers. Steinarsson needs a pass, finds one. Hermansson backs out. And Osmani's going to gap him as much as he can. He just doesn't want, then he gets the foul on the penetration. And that'll be Turkey's 3rd team foul. Vorovic takes the last minute 50 off. That's an interesting pick and pop off the floor. But he picks himself up. Can't make the 3 on the recovery from the falling over. Steinsson can't keep it alive. Steinarsson getting extended minutes, 52 to 45, and both teams struggling to tick the scoreboard over. It was very easy to start of this quarter. Now it's becoming more difficult. Iceland will switch. Sapai looks deep. There's a whistle on the play, and I think that's going to be a hold. Gudmundsson picks up the personal. John Axel Gudmundsson with Alicante and Leb Gold in Spain. Stanley spins. In fact, nowhere to go on the penetration. And Haltali, sorry, was the putting on the floor, trying to be the aggressor. I can't really see Steinarsson's complaint. Hatali moves it on. SBI. Ubai doesn't get it to go. Great work. Hatali, they're going to call him the charge on that. Barreled his way to the ring, but Powelson held his ground. Short-lived minutes for Hatali. Straight through the chest. Last minute, nice look, but it's going to come off the shin of Stefansson. Couldn't control the pass. If he had a wide open layup. But we've been stuck on 52-45 for around 2 minutes right now. Ubai will sit as Hazard had a really nice first half. Hasn't seen a lot of floor time in this third quarter. Oh, what a block. Sabish thought he just had the easy go over the top of the defender finish, and then the weak side just appears. And Paulson just says, got to bring me something stronger than that. 6 seconds on the possession. They go to the long side. Gonna have to put this up. Stops, gets his feet set, can't get it to go. And that'll stay with Turkey. Great effort on the glass by Sibai. And we're still stuck at 52-45. Tries to create space, gets to the lane, will go to the free throw line. Almost used every second of the shot clock. Iceland have plenty of time, assuming they're not going to give up an offensive rebound to get the last shot of this third quarter. Shooting 60% across this current season. Only gets 6 minutes of, only averages around 6 minutes per game in the EuroLeague. Gets more time in the Turkish Super League. Spent a little, well, I think he had a 3-game, 10-day contract with Cleveland, but makes the pair. Iceland need to score on this possession. 9-point game in a low-scoring game. Osmani will sit. Plenty of time. Gunnarsson kicks it. Steinarsson. That's going to be a blocking foul. Turkey are in the penalty, so Steinarsson will go to the free throw line. Shoots the free throw at 87% this current league season. Igor Steinarsson needs both. Goes 2 for 2 from the line. Well, they turn it over. They won't have enough time to get the shot. But at the end of 3, Turkey just opened it out just a little bit more. They lead this 54-47. Led by 5 at half, lead by 7 at the end of 3, but Iceland still right in this. Stats-wise, the three-point line is only marginally better. It started okay in that third quarter, but then teams just dried up again. So let's get a look at the best plays in that third quarter. Well, this is how they started the quarter. Lanson with the throwdown, and he had a couple of other opportunities, but he still needs, in my opinion, he still needs more touches. 5 from 8 from the floor, has 5 rebounds on top of that. But they need to find a way to just get him just 1 or 2 more. It's not like they need to throw him the basketball, but they need to get him more touches than they currently are. But Manson has 11 to lead all scorers for Iceland. Fredriksson with 9. And they're just down on the percentages they need to be to get the win. Biberovic looked like he was coming to play. Still only has the 6 points. But Osmani and Sanli lead the scorers with 11 and 10, and the inside combination is shooting 9 for 18 between them. Sanli's put up 5 threes, but has only made the one, has 7 rebounds, so the contribution from the inside for Turkey is basically fundamental to the current lead. So Turkey with the 7-point lead and the accompanying music get us underway in the third quarter. Biberovic tries to get a little separation, and it just opened up and he blew the layup. Great work on the glass though. Frustration from Biberovic. Just used the screen really well. And then just blew the layup. And Sanli bows him out, does a great job with the offensive rebound. Didn't stop playing. Hermansson picks up foul number 3. Turkey will have the ball on the baseline with a 14-second reset. Osmani. Biberovic off the down screen, needs a pass, steps through, takes the leaner for 2, is no good. Sanli keeps it alive, but Hermansson and Hermansson almost combined with a turnover. So the first job done for Iceland. They get a stop on that first possession, chance to eat into the 7-point lead. Fredriksson. They've lost that rhythm that they had. Turkey, you got to credit Turkey's defense for that. They really have taken away easy options in transition. Fredriksson tries to wrap the pass to no one. Turkey in transition. Azar off the glass, doesn't get it to go. And Anson will keep it alive. Gudmundsson would advance it. Takes the ball screen, gets a little space in the lane for the push, doesn't get it to go. Making hard work of what looked like they should be better shots, because Turkey don't go after you too much on the shot. They're not trying to ring protect as much as some teams do. And the mid-range 2 is off and the lid is back on the hoop. Fredriksson will advance it. Just about recovers it. Takes the lean away 2. Gets it to go. Sanli doesn't get it to go, but draws contact, and that will be maybe Hermansson's. Is it his 4th? Let's just check it out. Maybe Hermansson's 4th foul. Well, they've called it on Gunnarsson. So I'm concerned for Iceland, misplaced. So he makes the first. Sanli is, he's 32 now. He's played at Barcelona, playing at Fenerbahce. He's playing on the biggest club teams in Europe. Really has had a stellar career and still some years left in that career. Back to a 7-point game. Hermansson gets it to go. In fact, Steinarsson gets it to go. Here's Hazard in the half court. Mamutoglu moves it off, takes the hand off. That's going to be an offensive foul. Mamutoglu confused. Let's take a look. Opportunity for Iceland now to close it to a 3 or a 2-point game. Little runner off the glass is good. And Turkey will take the timeout. They lead by 3. Iceland with momentum. 7:29 remains in the fourth. And Coach Adamant doesn't want to see that momentum grow. He'll take the timeout. He still has the 3-point lead. Sometimes you get into these games where offensive rhythm is not there. You have to rely on your defense to, get the job done. And that's where Turkey, well, both teams, that's where Turkey really find themselves at the moment. They had that little spell at the beginning of the third where offensively everything was a little easier. They moved the ball better, they got better looks. Field goal percentage-wise, not a lot to choose between these two teams. The rebound numbers gives Turkey that advantage. Just at 6 from 24 and 4 for 17 is way below what both these teams would expect to be shooting from beyond the arc. The combination of the defense and the situation. 16,000 people on a Sunday afternoon in Istanbul is enough to put pressure on anybody. Crucial that Turkey get what they want coming out of this timeout. Hazard will advance it. The soft screen to the down screen. Bibelovic will take the ball screen, turns it down, goes up strong off the glass, is blocked. Hilanson again says, bring me something stronger than that. Knocked away by Osmani. But Iceland with a chance to tie it on this possession and put some real pressure on. 6 on the possession now. Hilanson rolls. Great stand. Biberovic read it, took away the floor space. Fredriksson takes one for the team. Disappointing that aspect of stopping the break is finding its way back into it. Spy moves it on. Osmani from the 3-point line, filling it up. If you're not going to guard me, he's going to knock it down. That's his second 3. And player of the game candidate, if ever you saw one. Whistle on the play. The 3 just ignites the crowd. There's the foul. No real need to get after it. Ori Gunnarsson was not really going anywhere. Hermansson has it knocked away. He's got 6 seconds, plenty of time. He's going to have to play though. And he's going to pick up the personal. Martin Hermansson. Always embarrassing, the replay when there's a little bit of acting. Sipai out top, takes the ball screen, gets into a little space. Suddenly thinks about the long 2, turns it down, 7 on the possession. Matoglu puts it on the floor, stops, fires up the long 2, and it drops. Gunnarsson steps out. Poulsen comes back in. They've done the work to get back to get back to 3. Ekes out to an 8-point game. Iceland have the basketball. Winning and losing is the most important thing. If you're going to lose small. Listen to the noise on defense. Can't hear yourself think, let alone talk, out there on the floor. Wide open. So for 3 is good and silences the crowd. Just with one made 3. Back to a 5-point game. And Steinarsson having a game here. Hazard has it knocked away. Ball retained by Turkey. 5:17 remaining. Iceland refused to lie down here. The pressure of losing that first game on Turkey will begin to weigh a little heavier if Iceland stay tight here. Suddenly moves it on. Hazard. Mehmetoglu doesn't think, catches, releases, doesn't get it to go. There's a whistle. And Sepai seems like he was hit as he tried to rebound. Let's take a look. Oh my word. Hermansson is being called for the foul. So he has the lead. That's a huge loss. Sepai on the free throw line. Every free throw crucial now. Just over 5 remaining in the 4th. And he goes 2 for 2. Kenan Sepai. Whistle as Fredriksson penetrated. Fouls on the floor. Iceland in the penalty already. That's the 3rd team foul for Turkey. They still have 1 to give. Linson will hand it off. Fredriksson, nice find. Steinsson for 3 is in and out. Sadly cleans up the mess. Turkey with the opportunity to increase this 7-point lead. Could make it double digits if they hit the 3. Sepai with advantage of size in the block, fills the double team. Sadly wide open for 3 is good. We got a double-digit game. Great read. Hermansson had to literally come and help down. Sadly just spaces the floor. Poulsen gets his feet set from beyond the arc. Got it. They just will not lie down. Back to a 7-point game. Hazard gets to the middle. Stanley, having made the last one, is long. Defensive rebound. Hermansson gets it. Great pass. Blew the layup. Big miss. Steinarsson, if you're not that confident, don't go up. Mehmetoglu. Stanley is always going to be open. Sepai gets to the foul line, wants to put it inside. Has it knocked away. And Iceland off to the races, have numbers. Well, feet set for 3 is good. Wow. Gudmundsson says, if you're not guarding me, I'm shooting the basketball. If you leave these guys wide open, they're going to shoot it with confidence. 4-point game, 3 minutes, plus a few ticks remain. Usmani, who's been the man for Turkey. Hazar has got Hilanson outside the keyway. Looks like he's going to settle, almost turns it over, gets inside, takes the tough runner, doesn't get the drop. Sanli's on the glass. Great rebound, goes back up for two. What a play. Sertek Sanli, and they get another two the other way. Really quick turnaround by and they called a foul. Goodmanson says, why do you call the foul? Sipai just takes one for the team. This time just called as a foul. Iceland unhappy because they had the wide open layup, but this is what was just a super job by Sanli. Just a super job. 6-point game, we're on the sideline. Sipai picks up the third personal. Hilanson is the release. Goodmanson. Hilanson inside, gets the two. This is going all the way down to the wire. 4-point game. Turkey have the basketball. Sipai will advance it. Goodmanson just will not allow him to turn the corner. Turns it over. Steinarsson goes up. Is blocked. Better effort by Steinarsson though. Went up strong. They'll take the end line possession. Iceland will take the timeout. 2:16 remaining. They'll come back on the end line. Good block by Sipai. Didn't wallow in the turnover. Gets back, contests it. But they do not know when they're beat, this Icelandic lineup. It's been to double digits on a number of occasions. They take the timeout. Coach Pedersen will run something to get a look. Well, that tells you how tight this is. 6 steals to 4 steals. That balances out some way the rebound stats that favor Turkey. And that worried face tells you what these fans are thinking right now. So Iceland will come in after the timeout. They have a 20-second on the shot clock, but they would love to get something quicker than that off this out of bounds. And Aston, do they go there? Do they go big? Do they get the big man the ball? Or do they space it and try and get an open look from the perimeter, free on the arc with this possession? Hilanson will screen. In the lane for two is no good. Sanli cleans it up on the glass. Well, they got a 2-foot look, couldn't finish. Will use as much of the clock, tries to turn the corner, hesitates. They go inside, Sanli with a mismatch. Hulanson's gonna have to come, someone's open. Sanli settles for his own shot. And Iceland come down with it. Hilanson hands it off. Fredriksson to the corner, Stenson, his spot for three is good. That's his third three from deep in that corner, right in front of the Turkish Benson. We've got a 1-point game in a silent gym. Hazar in the half court. This is Biberovic time. Stops, pops, fills it up. Tarik Biberovic is becoming the man for Turkey. Hilanson drops it off. Fredriksson needs a pass. The same corner, the same result. We got a 1-point game. That spot in front of that Turkish bench has been very good to Iceland. Has a suddenly with a ball screen, they get Helensson caught on the ball. Osmani needs a pass, finds a pass, they go hello. Suddenly gets it to drop. They've called the personal. Suddenly will go to the free throw line. Osmani and Stanley, the big two, are carrying their country on their shoulders right now. Great execution to bring Helensson out of the keyway. He had to come. He could have offered Hazard a three, obviously. Referees are just going to check this about when the foul was or wasn't. I assume that's what they're checking. See, this is the play that gets. Are they going? Is this a 3 or a 2? That looks a little 2-ish. But they're going to need a better angle than that, I think. I don't think this is going to give it to him, because from there you can't really see the line. Biberovic has made the shot, but is it a 2 or a 3? Big call here. This would make it a 2-point game, not a 3-point game, with a single shot to come. It looks like he touches the line, but I don't think that's conclusive. This may well be. No, it's going to be, I don't think so. No, you can't see the line. Need a different angle. I think this is the best they're going to get. That looks as though it's touching the line, or they're going to say it's a 3 still. I think they're leaving it as a 3. It was inconclusive. Suddenly to make this a 2-possession game. Huge free throw. Never in doubt. 2-possession game. Crowd on the edge of. Wide open, Fredriksson fills it up with no time coming off the clock, hardly at all. Went quick, knew they'd get the ball back. Knocks the 3 down, 1 down. Hazard with the basketball. Biberovic, his time again. Turns the corner, steps back. Will come off the screen, same play, same action. No result this time, though, and Iceland have it with 13.6 and a shot at winning the game. Gudmundsson inside, gets the goal! Jan Axel Gudmundsson knocks down the 2, takes all the contact. Iceland have the 1-point lead, 3.6 to go. They have troweled most of the game. They have hung around, picked themselves up off double-digit deficits, and then this gives them the 1-point lead. What a finish. But there's still 3.6 seconds to go. Coach Adaman will draw it up. Turkey have a shot to win it. Only down 1. Can he get it? Can they move Helensson outside? There's no way he's going to move outside the keyway on this play. Every stat line you've seen on a graphic tells you how close this game has been. Helensson will camp himself around the ring. Who do they trust? Do they go big? That's where they've been so effective. Mehmetoglu on a catch and release is a really good option for Turkey too. But Coach Adamant will have a lot of options. Ball on the sideline. Sibayi has it on to bring it in. They're not going to get it in, just about get it in. Biberovic mishandles, going to take the lean away for the win! Tariq Biberovic rescues his country to get the win. They fumbled it, they almost lost it. He stayed with it. And he just got it to go. The officials are going to look at it. Wow, that's clearly inside. Heartbreak for Iceland. Leans back. Nothing but string. And Biberovic is becoming the talismanic leader at 23 years old of this Turkish national team. What an end. What a performance by Iceland to give themselves the opportunity for the huge win here in Istanbul. That shot by Biberovic could be so crucial in qualifying for EuroBasket. They would have been 0-2 after the first competition window. 1-1 puts them in such a better position. But the young Fenerbahce small forward just carried the responsibility, and it wasn't the best out-of-bounds play. He managed to get it in, he almost fumbled it. But then he just gets himself square, knocks down the two, and Turkey get the win, 76-75 over Iceland. On the back of Sanli, on the back of Osmani, they stayed in the game, built leads. But Biberovic just delivered. A lot of relieved players walking around the floor here. What a great picture. That's a smile of winning. That's more about, I'm just seeing my dad. Turkey get the win. Iceland have their hearts broken. And they both sit 1-1 in the group after the first competition window. But the only numbers that really matter are 76 and 75. Both teams then ultimately shot the three ball so much better. 42% for Iceland, major part of how they got it within close to winning the game. Turkey were always going to win the rebound battle. And in a one-point game, you've got to say that's absolutely. But their 13 turnovers almost balanced that out. Sani Osmani with the 34 points between them on the inside. Biberovic is 11, but it's only the last two that mattered. Going to get some highlights of a fourth quarter. 16,000 residents of Istanbul just loving that. Not wanting to leave the arena. What basketball is in Turkey. Well, let's take a look at the fourth quarter plays. And there were times that Iceland began to struggle, but then they didn't go away from what they do. And to be fair, not in Turkey, because Osmani and Sanli were the reason Turkey won this game. The bigs, the big-to-big combination. Coach Adamant's decision to go with the big and be really use that size. I mean, they're both great athletes. They're both really high-level, elite IQ players. So therefore, they know how to use the advantage. And as Osmani and Sanli can shoot the three, it was such a really big ask for the Icelandic defense. But they found answers, and they almost found a way to win. And Sten Arsen, from that spot in front of that Turkish bench, almost, got to say, almost carried his team to the win. So there's again the bigs that can shoot the three ball. Sanli and Osmani. And then Son on his own couldn't cope with everybody. But John Axel Gudmundsson, at the end of the game, hits the threes, dishes out the pass to, and Anson really did try to take it over. And how big was the official review? They made sure they got it right, the officials. Was it a two? Was it a three?
What are your first feelings after this?
They called it a three.
Suspenseful game.
Quite rightly called it a three after the review, and they win by 1.
We got down several times by 9 in the game and managed to keep fighting back. And, you know, guys really stepped up and hit shots at the end of the game to get it closer and closer and closer. The fight on defense was outstanding. But, you know, they had a high-level player that made a tough shot to win the game for them.
And there is that play.
So this window as a whole, one win and 1 loss. Would you have accepted that before?
From Biberovic? What a
yes,
tough shot.
You know, it's difficult to say right now because
well, let's have a look at the table.
In a good position to
Turkey
win
1-on-1,
like
Iceland 1-on-1.
That stepped up and made a very difficult shot at the
Italy
end of the game.
and Hungary will play later on. Italy will go top of the group if they get that win. But that is what EuroBasket basketball is all about. Turkey and Iceland going at it toe to toe, and Turkey getting the 76-75 win. And we'll go
hopefully some good preparation
away from the gym here. A very happy group of players. Tremendous performance by Turkey. Tremendous performance by Iceland. 3 seconds short of getting the win. Italy and Hungary later on. Check the schedules out, so make sure you check that out, because Hungary will not want to be the only team without a win at the end of today. But for now, from Istanbul, that's been a great one. It's been a privilege. We'll see you shortly for more action from these continental qualifiers.